Welcome back to Make Heal Up Life. My name is Amber, and today I'm going to do a health update. It's been 3 months since I did the last update, and I figured it was high time to give you an update, even though in some ways a lot of things haven't changed. So recently we went in for my iron follow-up, and the results were the ferritin levels are continuing to drop, but they have slowed down drastically. And my ferritin levels are at the point where they had recommended the infusion last time in 2023. And I asked them, since the drop has slowed down because of my change in nutrition and supplements, if I can continue to try to do that. And they agreed to let me try for another 3 months. And so I have my list of 9 items that I want to be eating every day. That is a combination of plant and animal sourced iron. And then I am increasing my supplement because I take a supplement that is beef spleen, and I was taking it every other day, but it's only a third of what they would typically recommend I be taking. So I've been slowly increasing that up. So maybe by the time, I don't know, I've been increasing it. So I'm hoping by increasing the supplement and being consistent with the 9 different foods that the results will be good in 3 months, which will be in the middle of October. We're almost close to the end. If you hear in the background, it's summer and it's post-hail, so the sound of summer in this area is roofing, and the sounds of roofing of nail guns and staplers and all that fun stuff. So my focus continues to be on my iron intake and content. I continue to have sinus issues that come and go, which I've come to the conclusion are probably most likely allergies because they clear up when I increase my sinus rinses and my Claritin. So that's where that stands. My weight has continued to slowly increase over the last 3 months, just creeping up, which is frustrating and annoying. So I continue to not want to track my food or try to be really exact with it. So really, like the last couple of days, I've been I've been looking up, does the timing of your food make a difference and that sort of thing. And came across one study that basically said, cut out snacks between dinner and bedtime, and that will help keep you in a fasted, unfed state and increase your nighttime fasting time, and all those little extra calories at night add up. And basically, whenever you eat, your body's in the storage mode, not the burning mode. So the longer you can encourage your body to be burning the energy, the better. So that is our current test or challenge or thing that we're trying out, is stopping our after dinner snacking, which yesterday was the first day, and man, it's amazing when you don't realize you're in such a habit of doing it until you decide not to do it. As soon as I sat down in the recliner and I was going to pull out some crochet and turn on some YouTube, my first thought was, where's my snack? I'm like, wait, I'm not going to have a snack. If I'm trying to lose weight, snacks are not necessarily beneficial. So that is our current experiment. The next thing that I'd like to try is shifting all of my food earlier, but that also requires shifting my sleep cycle earlier. I'm currently in the habit of waking up around 9 a.m. and we try to be heading to bed around 9:30, 10. And the actual scientific study I ran across was they took a group of people, split them up, and everybody at some point tried 2 different styles of eating. They had the same amount of exercise, same amount of calories, just the timing of their meals changed. One half would start eating at 8 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. The other one would start at noon and end at 8 p.m. And just simply shifting the time that they were eating decreased their hunger and increased their weight loss. So that is where we're trying to head towards, but the first step is just let's stop our snacking after dinner and then see if we can shift my sleep cycle a little bit so I'm not eating so late. But that's just the things that we're playing around with at this point. In terms of exercise, as of the last video, my personal training sessions stopped abruptly because of the degree of my fatigue and the fact that I was now under doctor advisement to get infusions. And that sort of just ground everything to a halt. So I was able to do basically 8 months of personal training with her rather than the 9. But in that time, there was the holidays, so I think that there was, in reality, it was probably 7 months of personal training. My main takeaway from personal training is they can get you a schedule and they can get you some tools, but the main focus is going to be, it still comes down to what you do on your own. It still comes down to your daily habits. And the personal training is just going to be tips and tricks and fine-tuning what you're doing, troubleshooting what you're doing. But the bulk of the work is still on you because you still need to do your stuff day in and day out. I would suggest, if you are interested in a personal trainer or that sort of thing, to definitely look into their credentials and find out if they're just a person speaking from personal experience or if they have training to be speaking from. And also, I would suggest, I went for the whole hog. I said, just give me the longest contract possible. I want the biggest change. A lot of times when we're signing up for those kind of programs, we're in a point of, I don't want to say desperation, but we're hungry for change. And so I think for me, I'm also more vulnerable for selling tactics. So I would say, try that out. Don't go for the whole hog. Try it out in small quantities until you know that the fit between you and the personal trainer is great and you're getting the results that you want. Try it out in a smaller chunk before going for the longer term commitment. Because what I found is I was in a long-term commitment, and when the relationship wasn't going great, there wasn't anything I could do. The contract had me locked in. So look into. That being said, I would highly recommend a personal trainer if you want help customizing what you're doing, finding things that work with your body and your schedule. It's all good things. At the moment, for my movement and my exercise, I am still at the stage of walk when you can, because I am still dealing with fatigue. According to my watch, my average steps the last month or so was 6,500 a day, which is amazingly good compared to what I was expecting. My goal currently is 7,000, and so often I look down and say I'm nowhere near it, I'm not even meeting it. But if I look at the graph, there's definitely, it's not consistent. And that's what I've been noticing day to day. I'm not being consistent with it. I'll have 2 or 3 days of lots of energy spent, lots of steps taken, and then there'll be a couple of days of recovery. And then I'll go back into, overshooting the goal and then having to recover. So it's not consistent, but on average, I think I'm actually doing better than I thought. But I still want the goal to be 7,000 because I haven't consistently met that yet. And I would like it to be more of a consistent thing in my life rather than spurts. If I can bring myself to put that much attention and energy towards exercise, which is a question because there are days when the fatigue is real and I just need to focus on the 2 or 3 things that I want to get done that day, and making my to-do list long can sometimes be overwhelming and not helpful. But there's the iron, there's the exercise. Now, there's still things being troubleshooted, there's still things being figured out. but I'm definitely in the season of one step at a time, one meal at a time, one activity at a time. Don't, you know, I can get so caught up in the results that I want and the problems that I'm facing that I can get paralyzed, and that's not helpful. So, one step at a time is still the theme. I'm returning to that theme, returning to that mantra of one step at a time. So, I'd love to hear how you're doing, how you're faring this summer. We're coming into August. August is tomorrow, and we shall see. With the temperatures right now, we're usually in the high 80s, low 90s. I wouldn't be surprised if we get more. As you can see, our okra's quite happy with the high temperatures. This next week we'll be going into the hundreds, and they'll be, you know, ecstatic. And we'll have to be checking it at least once a day, if not more, because okra goes crazy fast in the heat of the day. Until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day and you're able to take your journey one step at a time. Feel free to like and subscribe. Bye!